Teenagers of our church, it's your time. It's your destiny. You may be young, but you are not insignificant. When you read the Bible, you find God had a way of raising teenagers. Samuel was probably less than a teenager or a teenager when God spoke to him. David was a teenager. Daniel was a teenager. I had the call of God on my life when I was around 14 years. It wasn't any dramatic thing. Nobody prophesied to me. I didn't see any vision. I didn't see any dream. I just had a sense within my heart, within me, that God was going to use me to do his work. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't brag about it. I didn't jump about it. I kept it in my heart and just pondered over it. And to an extent, I didn't really think it would amount to much, but just a certain knowing that one day I would serve God. I would preach. I would serve him. I didn't know I would found a church. I didn't know I just knew that God had his hand on me. But it started when I was about 14 years old. And so for those of you who are teenagers, I pray that you will listen to the voice of God. You will hear God speaking to you, because this is your time. If God is going to do great things in your life, this is the time he's speaking to you. Hear his voice. And when you hear his voice, there are some things you must give up in order for you to have some rewards. There are some things that you're not going to continue doing. You cannot just live your life anyhow, as if there is no purpose, or as if there's nothing ahead of you. You have to make sacrifices. You're going to keep your body pure. You're going to live righteously. You're making that sacrifice for your future. If you're in school, you're going to study hard. And you're going to give the best to what you do, because the sacrifices you make in your teenage years will be your reward in your old age. So for those of you who are teenagers, I encourage you, listen to God's voice. He's speaking to you. And maybe you don't even know what that voice is. Samuel didn't know what that voice is. When he heard God, he went to Eli and said, "Have you called me?" And eventually Eli said, the next time you hear the voice, say, "Speak, Lord, your servant hears." So if you're not too sure of what you're hearing, just ask God, "Lord, make your way clear to me," and he will make his way clear to you. For those of you who are in your 20s, you are beginning to flex your muscles. Your life is beginning to take some shape, and you're about to do great things. And I just want to encourage you, don't just stay in line waiting for your turn. Life can be lived in a profound way beginning from our 20s. As I've said, I was just in my early 20s or mid-20s when this church was founded. Now when I look back, I get scared about some of the choices I had to make, because I was so young and so many people trusted me, and I was young, but I also trusted God. So they trusted me and I trusted God, and God brought us this way. I will never forget some of the things I had to do as a young pastor, founded a church, and church ceremonies had to be developed, and we didn't have anything. I had to sit up and write most of our church ceremonies. I remember when I was going to officiate the first wedding of the church, and didn't want to use the established wedding ceremonies, because there's a new church. We wanted to write our own church ceremonies for weddings. And I stayed up all night, the whole night, researching and reading and researching and writing, and wrote out the church ceremony for a wedding, which we still use to a very large extent. There have been some modifications, but we still use the naming ceremony of our children. I had to write it out. And I was in my 20s. So for those of you who are in your 20s, you can do profound things. Don't underestimate yourself, and don't belittle yourself and minimize your potential. For those of you in your 30s, I was in my 30s when Central University was founded. God can do great things with you in your 30s. And so I believe that in your 30s, some of you are about to take on huge challenges in the world. And don't ever underestimate the grace of God upon your life. Now someone say, Pastor, what about those of us in our 40s? Well, those of you in your 40s, I don't have much to say. I know you do great, you do great, you do great. Don't worry, you do great. Those of you in your 50s, it's a great time to be in your 50s and in your 60s, but there are great things to do in your future. By this time, you should have listened to the voice of God already. You should have known what your life is about already. But if you're in your 50s or your 40s and you're still not sure, may the Lord give you clarity of vision and clarity of purpose. And maybe you look at your life and you say, oh, I didn't make the right sacrifices. I made the wrong choices. God is the God of a second chance. He's able to make things work for us, even when we mess up and when we miss the way. And for each age of our lives, in our 70s, 80s, 90s, 100s, at every phase, God has a plan and a purpose for us. And each one of us will be called upon at every point, even when you are old, to still make sacrifices. Because the only way to move into the future beneficially is to make a sacrifice today. And so today I encourage the church, if you're making sacrifices to God, let it be an excellent sacrifice, a more excellent sacrifice. Don't play games with God. Don't cheat him. Don't lie to him. Don't start something and not continue. Don't attend church haphazardly. Don't give haphazardly. Don't be in one department and don't attend meetings. If you say you are giving this to God, it has to be a more excellent. Otherwise, you'll be like Cain, who made a sacrifice that was not accepted. Gave up something, but God didn't take it, because God says, I don't like what you gave up. So we want to give God something that he would look at and say, this is what I'm pleased in, and give you a testimony, give you favor, and give you an impact. And I trust God that when we come back to celebrate our anniversary in the next 36 years, by which time I would be a very young man in my 90s. I would be about 96 years old young. I forbid walking stick in my life, and I will walk straight, and I will talk firmly, and I'll still be preaching. I will not be general overseer, but I will be preaching. Now, some of you I know in the next 36 years would be probably in the prime of your life. You'll be in your 50s, some of you will be in your 40s. What a great opportunity your life holds in the future. And I pray that 36 years from now, when we gather as a church, I don't know what technology will be available at that time for whoever is general overseer to be talking to all of you. I pray that the sacrifices you make today will be a more excellent sacrifice than what other people are doing, that God would take pleasure in you. And then we can all gather and read the psalm again and say, oh, that man will give thanks to the Lord. It's been a great time in the presence of God. It's just been an awesome 36 years. Nothing missing, nothing broken. So much gratitude in our hearts. As a church, rise with a voice of triumph. Rise with thanksgiving. Celebrate the goodness of the Lord and honor him for what he has done. And let us also make the right sacrifices that 36, 10 years, 5 years, whatever years ahead from now, we can gather again and say, look what the Lord has done. We sacrifice for him, and look what he has given to us, a testimony, favor, and an impact. God bless you. May the Lord keep you.